Well, it's time for us to take a look at some of our national and international headlines for this Wednesday morning. You recall back on Saturday when President Trump made the remarks about what had happened last night in Sweden. A lot of folks started scrambling around, checking not just Twitter, but news feeds, actually contacting the Swedish embassy and directly and saying, hey, what's going on? What happened in Sweden? Nothing. Well, on Monday night, this is 1, 2, 3 nights later, there were riots in a suburb of Stockholm. Now, they weren't large-scale riots like what we saw in Stockholm in 2013. And yes, that did happen. You can Google that, the Stockholm riots of 2013. What happened on Monday night were a couple of riots, a couple of assaults. Basically, yes, there were riots on Monday night, but people started using this almost immediately as support that you see Trump was right. Okay, Trump made his comments 2 days before the riots happened. Let's think about the problems with that, and let's move on to another news story. The bodies of 74 migrants washed up on the shore of Libya. They're saying that the boat that they found had a hole in it, had the possibility of carrying up to 150. A senior Trump aide has warned the European Union that it can expect hostility after Brexit. That aide is Steve Bannon, and basically they're saying that, we expect the rest of the European Union to treat the United States as equals, and we're going to deal with Britain this way. And basically what it's coming down to is that they're not going to play ball with the European Union the way that the EU wants them to. Meanwhile, in light of a number of attacks and threats, mostly threats across the United States over the last couple of days against Jewish community centers, President Trump made comments condemning the horrible anti-Semitism. Meanwhile, Iran and Turkey have traded barbs over Syria and Iraq, and a lot of it has to do with the fact that Turkey is predominantly Sunni, Iran is predominantly Shia, so you've got these ancient religious differences between the two countries. And at this point, with what's going on with the fighting in Syria and Iraq, it's understandable. You could see them going in different directions. There's a question being asked, was the Department of Homeland Security hacked on the same day as the immigration crackdown was supposed to begin? A bunch of employees all across the department, the D.C. area, all across Washington, were unable to log on. Folks asking, was there some kind of a hack involved? What was it that caused all these people to be unable to get into their computers? Also, the latest plans for the new immigration ban. Number of questions in terms of who exactly is going to be banned and why. But in light of all of that, Trump is also planning to greatly expand the number of immigrants being targeted for deportation. And we also see that Marine Le Pen, the French president candidate, what they're calling her, the far-right party, the one that's in favor of disintegrating the EU, the one who wants to keep immigrants out, she caused a bit of a firestorm yesterday. She was in Lebanon doing one of those visits to make her appear more presidential, and she refused to wear a headscarf in order to meet with these other men. She walked away from the meeting. We'll keep our eye on that young lady right there. That's what we've got for our national and international news for this Wednesday morning. Make sure you check out the Alaska News. My commentary today has to do with an Alaska story, yet another protest, this one opposite of the one that I talked about the last time, and a couple of different problems that I see with the issues in general. Check it out. Tell me what you think about it, and send me an email, steve@radiofreespeech.com. You can also inquire about how to become a sponsor. At that point, if you don't want to do the website sponsorship, I understand the number of people who don't have credit cards. We can work something out. You can also support me on Patreon and others. Check out the links and check out the website, radiofreespeech.com. Thanks.